Hi there, SKIDDY STADE, CEO of OneWire, and welcome to Open Door. Today we're going to go interview my very good friend Peter Crisp, who's one of the founding partners of Venrock, the Rockefeller family's venture capital group. He was the seed capital behind Apple, Cisco, AMD, Thermo Electron, Yahoo, Gilead Sciences, Boston Scientific, and many, many more. He's a great guy, a true gentleman. I think you're going to really enjoy the show. Let's go see what he's up to. I'm here today with my good friend Peter Crisp. Peter, thank you very much for having me over. Peter, you were the founder of Venrock going way back, and
A founder
of Venrock, and we can get into that a little later on. Where did you grow up? Where did your DNA come from? Where did your drive come from? How did you evolve?
Before I answer your question about sort of the background, I feel as though my life has kind of been divided into three phases. And the three phases were learn, earn, and return. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the return phase now, where I'm working on almost exclusively different nonprofit organizations where I've been involved for many years, and where I have a deep commitment and where I believe what they're doing is truly important. Going way back, I went to Hotchkiss, and then I went to Yale, went to Harvard Business School, and was in the class of 1960. And in between my first and second year at Harvard Business School, several of us were hired by Swiss Air to come to Zurich. While I was in Europe that summer of 1959, I read a one-page article in the international edition of Time magazine, mm-hmm. which described Lawrence Rockefeller's philosophy of venture capital investing. So he set up a staff of 3 guys to do venture capital investing for him in early-stage technology-based ventures. Anyway, I wrote Lawrence a letter from Switzerland. It ended up on the desk of Randy Marsden. He talked to Woodward and Walkowitz, and they decided that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to hire a junior guy to sort of straighten out the files in the back room. Venrock grew, and I became the managing partner. I can't tell you off the top of my head now about how many investments we made or how much employment we added. I have all those numbers, but it was a wonderful, wonderful business because here, in my opinion, we were advancing technology, we were providing employment, companies were all paying taxes, we were helping entrepreneurs fulfill their dreams and expectations all the time, that we were making money at the same time. And once we made money and distributed the appreciated securities to the members of the Rockefeller family, they would give those securities to charity to fulfill their charitable commitments. Mm-hmm. So it was a total recycling of the process, and it was an incredible and wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
I mean, what you've experienced in your life is unbelievable from a business perspective, and to be working with Rockefellers and to have done what you've done is truly remarkable. Take us through your experience with some of the deals that you did that sort of stand out.
We did an Intel in 69 and Apple in 79.
Okay.
And we then did Apollo, I think, in 89.
We got Adobe rather.
That was not a Venrock company. I did that personally.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
And Alkermes?
Alkermes is a Venrock company.
Okay, and AMD. Okay, and then we keep going down. We got Apple, Celgene, and Boston Scientific.
They bought a Venrock company.
Okay, and what else we got here? Cisco. We got Corning.
Corning bought Galileo Electro-Optics.
And Absolutely amazing. And then let's keep going. We got
Lumina.
J&J.
They bought Centacor.
Okay. Intel.
That was founding investment. People used to say, gee, you guys were really smart. You saw the microprocessor coming, you saw personal computers coming, and then you saw workstations coming, and it didn't happen that way. It was much more luck and serendipity than by design.
Really neat. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah. And Yahoo, what do you guys do with Yahoo?
That was personal.
Okay.
They bought a Draper Fisher company that I invested in.
Peter, I'm looking over here and I see a poster of Apple. Would love to hear about your story of how you guys decided to invest in Apple.
When the Apple guys were raising money, Markla said, you know, they're bright and they're honest, and take a look at them. So they came to New York. They arrived at the 56th floor of 30 Rockefeller Plaza. They asked the receptionist, who was a retired Secret Service guy, where the men's room was, because they were wearing the dungarees. And they came out about 5 minutes later with suits that they'd bought to come to New York to present to us. And so they did. We talked to them. We had nothing to go on as to other than knowing they were honest and smart.
Right.
So we adjourned after about an hour and a half of talking to them, went out in the corridor, 4 or 5 of us. We looked at each other, shrugged our shoulders, and said, let's do it. So we ended up buying 10% of the company in 1979 for $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously you did well in your investment.
Okay. Okay.
And what was it like dealing with Steve Jobs?
I think I'm told by Walter Rasmussen's, some of the colleagues that he collaborated with in writing the biography of Steve, that Steve thought well of Venrock and also of me, which comforted me, because you never knew what Steve might say about somebody, but our relationship was cordial. It was good. It was good.
I mean, you've dealt with the top, most successful people in the world, and you've backed those folks. What do you look for?
It's kind of an innate combination of fire in their belly, their command of whatever industry or technology they're going to pursue. It was never one thing. It was always a combination. But, you know, it's the famous old thing, it always comes back to the people. And much better, as Dorio used to say, to have a grade A guy with a grade B idea than a grade A idea and a grade B guy.
I've always been somebody that's cared deeply about people. And I can attest to that from you coaching hockey and being a mentor of mine when I was a kid, helping me out painting houses, and somebody that I hugely admire and respect. Peter, is there any advice? I mean, the world is a lot different than when you first got going. Any advice you would give college kids today?
I would say scramble like mad. Network voraciously. Don't feel that your first job has to be your last job. I was lucky. I've been married to the same person, lived in the same house, and had the same job, so I had a very uninteresting life in terms of turnover, but it's been terrific. I mean, the Rockefeller family were absolutely unbelievable. They just said to us, do your thing. When you run out of money or need more money to invest, we'll be there as long as you keep your nose clean and do a good job. And it was quite amazing, quite extraordinarily unusual the way the family treated us. But in all honesty, we treated them well too, because we worked hard, scrambled like mad, and performed. And they benefited, but it was a great partnership.
Yeah, that's great. That is tremendous. Well, listen, Peter, I can't thank you enough for having me out to your house in this typhoon. I think we could categorize this as almost as a class 4 typhoon. But really appreciate it, and you know what you've accomplished in your life is phenomenal. And again, your wife as well, Missy, a fantastic person. Thanks so much for having me out here.
Good. All the best.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks.